Hello, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening at the moment in the TTA world. There's obviously the World Championships finale going on, and there's a lot of coverage from that. So I decided to show you a game from Intermezzo. I'm currently playing in the Platinum division. I was actually second in gold the previous season, but due to some dropouts, I was able to make it to Platinum, even though I was second. So in my group there's Fourierr and MaiquelPS and also El Chupacabra and Scipio and some number behind him. And this is from the second batch. The group was pretty even after the first batch. There was Scipio with 10 points and I had 9, and then there was El Chupacabra who had 5 points and he was last. So yeah, all games are 3P, and let's see what happens. Yeah, the initial row is quite good for the player in second place and in second seat, and whatever Fourier decides to go for, I'll have a nice 2 cards to take. And I really don't have any preference here. Any combination is quite good. So Fourier decides to go for Confucius, which is probably nice since there are a lot of wonders coming down, so at least he'll get a nice leader. And yeah, we can take a look at the other leaders and wonders. There's Suez Canal with Cook and Isabella, and maybe Freddy for the maybe colony play. Also Mikey. Mikey is there, and then there's also Bach, if there's maybe some culture play with Dietrich, but also no Hollywood and no internet either. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to go about it, but let's see how it goes. But yeah, maybe one thing to notice, there's no Ziska and no Nostradamus available, so that may come into play when I decide to who my HA leader will be. So yeah, for me, to adjust my options here. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, I took EGA and library, which was obviously what I was always supposed to do. And then there's Michael, who takes Stonehenge with the Richland. So that's pretty okay turns. So Fourier then has his first turn, and it obviously goes for the leader and then normal stuff and takes frugality. Of course, there's maybe urban growth as well, but yeah. So yeah, for me, there are 2 leaders available for one, Hippocrates and Caesar. And with the possible colony play, I decided to go for Caesar. And also with Hippocrates, you might wanna. It's always a bit questionable if you get a good leader for cheap to replace him after 2 to 3 turns. So there's Hippocrates, and there's also an alternative for him. I check the leaders from H1 if there are nice leaders, all around leaders that can be used. Then he's obviously better. And with the colony play possible, also library somewhat supports colony play. So I decided to go for Caesar. Obviously, it has a bit more variance if you draw nice colonies or even events to seed, or maybe if you can make an early push for strength and then try some aggressions. So it's a bit of more risky play to take Caesar, but I decided to take him nonetheless. Then usual mine and pop. So yeah, nothing there. Michael then, he has only Aristotle for 1. Has this Stonehenge with it. So it means that he has a lot of science to spare. And there's both the codes coming down, so would be nice for him to get one. Fourierr then seeds, obviously, with the Confucius. Then there's 1 rock and 1 food and 1 science for all. That means I can now finish the library even now without any further help from the deck. And Fourierr takes code, which is probably what he should do, since he has more science coming in from Confucius. And he will leave the other one for 2. So let's see if I can or even will take it. Start with the pyramids. Yeah, for me, I haven't drawn any events to seed, so I just skip my politics. Of course, there's the naval trade agreement, but I don't know how it will work out in this. So it's not really a pact I want to offer just yet. So yeah, for me, the obviously strongest play is to just finish the wonder, and then that leaves me only 1 CA, so I can take the code. But it's also not too bad. So I finish and decide to take the drama. Of course, there's Urban Growth A that could be taken, but there's Bach, there's Marlene, so why not take drama if I can maybe go for it at some point. Maybe not now, but later. And then I draw a couple colonies, so that's at least nice. I can just push them both next turn and see what happens. So as expected, Michael takes code and also takes Saladin for 2. Yeah, I mean, if you just replace him right away, yeah, it's probably fine. There's it may be the best card from the 2 CA range now, or definitely is. So getting the early 5th civil action and also pretty soon the 6th, so he's gonna have a lot of CA moving forward. Fourierr sees again, and there's more pop. Goes for the code, finishes the pyramids, and he also has 6 CA. So I'm gonna be in a bit of a slump for CA, but let's see if I can manage. Also pops a couple times. yeah, it doesn't have the rocks to do anything. So maybe it's just popping to save CA later. Or maybe there's rats or something played. For me, I just start pushing the colonies in. It doesn't really matter which. Well, it might matter if there's development of politics coming out, so then it may make a difference which I push first. And I think the science one is maybe better to have at least in the next deck, and also then push for the historic territory, and then there's more rocks or food. And since I just push the colonies, I think it's practically a must to go for the Cardo as well. It's for 2, but yeah, it should give me a nice value. And since the deck is moving quite swiftly, well, because of me, I also felt that I need to go for it right away. But yeah, it also means I can start applying some pressure. I can go for the third warrior and show the tactic, so the other players need to respond. I have to raid that I can play. So Michael goes with code, pops and finishes the Stonehenge, shows fighting man, and maybe takes the strength as well, so he's safe, at least from single aggression. Free seeds is development civil life. Also decides to go for the Carolina, but that's more than fine, because he can also take the EG with that, and then he may have all the science he needs for now with the Confucius and also Carolina coming online maybe next turn even. But yeah, he needs to at least build some strength to maybe threaten defense. So with this, he may not be able to finish the wonder next turn, but maybe there's some rocks coming from the deck. But yeah, at least my strength push made it so that he has to respond. Then again, it may be a bit questionable if he should build the warrior if he can't defend anyway, because with this push I probably plan to launch an attack. So if he can't defend, then the warrior is quite useless, and now he can't finish the wonder for sure. So yeah, I decided to go for the aggression, and it goes through. Only at one igloo destroyed, but that also is not too bad for me. And then I see it new deposits. There's iron on the row, and well, before this colony was revealed, I was not able to go for it. I only had 4 science. But now, since the territory came out, it makes my turn pretty smooth. Just go for the iron and 2 upgrades, and that's huge in this scenario, since I didn't have the science before the colony, so that was pretty clutch. So yeah, just a couple upgrades and rebuilding the warrior even with the rocks from raid, so keeping the pressure on, and then there's more colonies coming, so it should be good. Draw phalanx tactic, maybe not useful for now, but maybe later. Michael then goes for monarchy, gets the 6th civil action, and maybe he can start taking that solid action as well. Cultural heritage, yeah, he has the CA for that. Alchemy, he can then go for alchemy with that next turn. So yeah, he's has to skip the breakthrough though. But yeah, let's see. And copies the tactic. And takes the CA, yeah. Yeah, there's quite the early rats. I lose 1 pop, basically. Well, yeah. At least they're gone now, but obviously I would have liked to pop before that, but that's what happens. Yeah, Fourierr can then go for warfare and copy my tactic. Also takes spread, needs a nice happy solution. And then he leaves enough stuff to finish the Carolina next turn. And takes Richland 1 for 3. Yeah, it is quite costly. Let's see if there's any nice alternative. There's knights for 2. Yeah, he also needs to have some rocks after finishing the Carolina, so maybe getting that Richland will help him go for the iron, or maybe coal later on. So yeah, I don't hate it. There may not be any better way. Maybe you could start building the Carolina though. That might be better. For me, yeah, now we can get to this nice little interaction. I don't have anything to say or anything else to do, so I just wanna offer the naval trade to Fourierr to get some more bonus for colonization, and he rejects. But since I'm hard to convince, I decide to reoffer it now. But he doesn't bite. So yeah, I have nice early rocks, early iron going. There's Mikey for 1. So Mikey could be a nice leader for me. There's great welcoming and all the wonders from H2. They may not be the absolute best one. There is no ocean liner, but there's at least transcontinental. There's Suez. With the colonies I already seeded, it might be nice. And then also Harvard College. So yeah, I just go for Mikey and upgrade my mine, and then I have basically nothing to do, and then I need to figure out what to take from the row, and I think, yeah, they're not the best ones, but I decide to, since there's knights for 1 and it could be used for tactics later, so I decide to go for knights and also for warfare. Yeah, with 2 MA, a bit more secure to take warfare. But yeah, there may not be anything better to do, so decide to go for that. And also with the library, I also have 2 more slots for more civil cards, so I'm not locking my hand. And Michael then goes for the alchemy play with the urban growth. And let's see, yeah, he decides to go for the last iron for 3. Obviously, it would be maybe a bit tricky for Fourierr to take, but he could also maybe leave it for 3, but then he can't take anything else, so maybe just taking it for himself is quite nice. Fourierr seeds for the last time as Confucius, and there's more science for everyone. And there's Leo with the alchemy. So yeah, I can just finish the investors and then start going for alchemy, and I get some decent Leo bonus rocks. Also goes for swordsman, while there's still H1 and probably 2 upgrades to make him strongest. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, then there's the banner over the scoreboards, but yeah, not much culture for anyone at this point. Both my opponents have a lot more CA. Michael even has 7 CA and Fourierr has 6. But yeah, with Mikey you might not need the CA that much, but yeah, there's some work to do here. Yeah, but I have the most rocks, so I have that going for me, which is nice. So yeah, first turn in H2. There's the Great Wall coming down, but I obviously don't want to take it for 3. So I will let it go, and then maybe get it for 1 next turn if it's not taken. But yeah, the 2 cards that are on top are the historic 1, Treachery and Barbarians, which I had no knowledge about, and well, this was not a nice thing to happen. I lose my happy pop, and I have an uprising if I don't fix my happiness, and I really don't have a nice fix other than Theocracy, and it's really not what I want to go for at this point. It doesn't increase my CA count. Also, well, it does something. It does give me the 3rd MA and some culture, but yeah, I wasn't happy that I had to that I was forced to go for Theocracy here, but yeah, let's see. So yeah, I have to go for Theo, and then I take Breakthrough. That's a very important card for me. I have low science production, and I just went for pretty bad Theocracy. So yeah, I need all the science I need, all the science I can take from the row. Yeah, don't draw any more colonies, but yeah, maybe something I concede. Maikel then goes for the wall. He also is quite well prepared for that. Only warriors, so maybe he sees that it's quite nice for me. I can take it and finish for quite cheap. Yeah, goes for more lab upgrades and takes efficient upgrade for 3. Fourierr then, he also has some happiness issues, but not so grave ones compared to me. He can just go for the bread and fix his happiness like that. Even gets a bit stronger, but maybe that doesn't have a the biggest effect. Yeah, there's early coal. Yeah, I suppose Michael also was considering that the coal was coming down. It may not be the biggest issue if it's for 1 or for 2 for Fourierr, but yeah, it's certainly more annoying if it's on 2 CA range. Also reserves, maybe getting the upgrades in a bit sooner. And also monarchy, quite the late one. Yeah, that there's also irrigation that could be maybe considered. But yeah, it's a late monarchy, and then Michael already has the monarchy, so getting an H2 government is also quite likely, but yeah, it could be fine still, but maybe some other cards could be taken. So for me, yeah, I have a lot of rocks and I can't pop. So I basically need to decide if I wanna escape corruption for now, or maybe there's also the breakthrough from H2, which looks pretty appealing, but yeah, I decided to start doing Mikey stuff, even though getting the Louvre going now, I'll only have one extra blue cube from the colony, so it will probably mean that I have corruption later, since I only have 4 CA. Like this, I can't go for the masonry. Yeah, it's probably too costly anyway, science-wise, to go for the masonry, so I just decided to go for the Louvre. And it just gets me out of corruption for now, but yeah, I will have some corruption later. Spoilers. So yeah, it leaves breakthrough on the row. I can't go for justice system. Well, I don't have the science for it either. So it's not perfect, but there's also the railroad coming down, so I also wanna just finish it and be prepared for that also. I draw autonomous colony and Hussar's tactic. So yeah, with the Louvre, it's obviously not great, even though it would be in many ways great to get more actions, but autonomous would leave me in an endless corruption pit. So Michael then goes for iron and 3 upgrades, I suppose. Yeah. So that's quite the efficient iron turn, even though it's late, and he can also grab the first selected breeding and takes team sports for happiness solution. He also leaves Transcontinental Railroad for 2 CA for Fourierr, which would obviously be better for him if he can get coal and that going. So maybe he sees that it may be even better for Fourierr. Yeah, it could be a factor in his decision making, but I'm obviously delighted to see that railroad on 2 for Fourierr, so that means I have a shot at getting it. So yeah, then there's the historic colony. I bid only 1 warrior. I don't have cards, I suppose, and it wasn't enough, but it also, I don't have a nice population going, so it's fine to just let it go. Yeah, he got 4 lab upgrades. Takes decide readings, so for me there's no nice food solution. I don't have irrigation and both selectives are gone, so I will have to just do Mikey stuff and maybe worry about it later, about the food. Also takes Gaudi. And you can go for the coal next time. Yeah, seed, I think I see it. Popularization of science. It's the least impactful of those. I don't wanna see it crime wave just to lose more blue cubes and have a real way of getting much stronger. Well, I will get the railroad going, but it's going to be a long time before the politics of strength would come out. So I just decided to see the most neutral event and take the railroad. And also republics, since there's Robespierre in the game. So my plan at this point is to ride Mikey until I die, and then go for Robespierre revolution to have some more flexibility in H3. Maybe take another wonder even. Then there's also United Nations, which is good with Mikey. So I decided to take corruption. Well, I was gonna get corruption anyway, but use some actions elsewhere than building just wonders. And Republic is quite nice with Robespierre in the game. As Fourierr also already has Gaudi, and then there's Michael, who doesn't have a leader from H2 yet. So yeah, but he already has monarchy, so he's not likely to go for Robespierre anyway. So that's why I can count on maybe getting Robespierre. Then I pop and build a stage. Just to be prepared for taking another wonder, since I need to use 3 to finish, and then I could take a lead wonder from the 1CA range. Yeah, it means corruption, but only 2 corruption, so it's probably fine. Strategy taken, grateful finished. Another warrior makes me the weakest for now. Some opera, there's still Bach and Marlene. Yeah, at last Fourierr goes for coal and 2 upgrades. Takes cavalrymen for some tactics, also cannons. So yeah, those are nice techs, but it also means that the Harvard College drops down to 1, and if it were for 2, I couldn't take it, and I'm low on science, so I'm very happy about this, that I can just finish the railroad and also take Harvard College. And yeah, it may have been a better idea just to pick one of those military techs and leave the Harvard College for 2. That would have, well, there's also the Eiffel Tower, but I really need science. So it's just a much better wonder for me. So yeah, for me it's just finish the railroad and take Harvard College and take corruption also. There's nothing to be analyzed on that turn. And that's Bach for my MaiquelPS. So that makes it sure that I can get Robespierre. But also it doesn't look too bad for Michael, since he has nice rock production, nice science, and then he can follow it up with Buck. Takes breakthrough from the 3C range. Goes for food. Takes frugality. Could go for another food upgrade. But maybe he wants to save the rocks to go for maybe an opera straight up next time. And there's some Confucius science. Fourierr just uses Leo for the last time and then switches. Yeah, it's not that likely that the age would end, but maybe Leo's done enough, and then it's time to go for more culture. Gets this food going. Rich land for the last coal upgrade. Reserves. For me, I seed something. I'm not quite sure what I seed now. But it wasn't anything too bad or good. Some neutral event. And I get hit by border conflict since that means another turn of corruption, but yeah. What can you expect? So yeah, it's very likely my last turn in H2, so I have to decide what to go for. I want to finish the college, and then I have one free CA, and I decide to prepare for the Republic, so I pick Warfare to play. I also can use the Breakthrough 1, so it's basically between Knights or Warfare, but I decided to go for the Warfare. Since I have nice rock production, my tactic will be better with tanks anyway, if I can get tanks. So yeah, I decided to go for Warfare, and then that's finish with corruption, and also leaving cannon on the row, but yeah, I don't have a tactic for that, and I'm very low on CA. Yeah, actually, yeah, now I remember I seeded autonomous territory, since Suez is on slot 7, so it's not certain that it will be discarded, but pretty certain that the edge ends and that will be discarded. So I decided to not wait for Suez, and yeah, it's still -2 blue cubes, so also not the absolute best colony for me in this spot. So I was pretty sure that the Suez will be gone by my next turn, since there's urban growth that Michael only needs to take urban growth, and I should expect him to take it since he will go for operas. He goes for strategy, opera, builds one, takes science and cannon. So yeah, it doesn't take the urban growth, and that might mean that the Suez would be there, but yeah, if I had a nice, maybe a vast colony or inhabited colony, I then would go for the Suez, but like this, I probably would skip it anyway. Fourierr goes for some upgrades and pops, and then build some units. Takes the urban growth. He has now a solid rock and food production. Also science is great. Takes some more rocks. and finish his turn, but the age does not end. So yeah, obviously ending the age would mean that I could potentially draw from h3, but then again, he probably sees that I will go for Robespierre, so ending the age here would be just a bit stronger, so that I can draw the h3 military cards, and it would be just way worse to revolt in h3, and it also gives me the CA back from the leader, so maybe I would have found a way to end the age here. So yeah, more rocks since I need them. But yeah, for me now it's pretty clear what I want to do. Just Robespierre into Republic, and then I decide to get a few more pops before I lose 2 more yellows. So just a few more pops, and then I decide to get ready for Marlene Dietrich. Should she be available pretty soon? Just to be, I saved so much science doing the revolution, so I decided that I can afford going for some drama. Yeah, with the corruption, obviously. So yeah, let's see the stats. I am getting ahead in culture with the Louvre, and I have like 20 something culture lead over Michael, and even more over Fourierr. I have good rock production, decent science, well, no food, but at least a few pups. Well, not free pups, but at least they're out of the pool. Maybe I can put them somewhere useful. But yeah, food will be a bit of an issue, but yeah, let's see. Miguel then goes for frugality. One more theater. He sees the culture lead I'm getting, and he wants to meet that. Also goes for rifles. Has some free MA, so I can just start increasing those without losing any draws. Also gets him the strongest for now. Popularization science, that's one of my events. It's pretty even for everyone. Fourierr still doesn't have a government, but can fix it now with the Con1. Should be a better because it's one cheaper than the Republic, and he also has the pyramids, so yeah, probably better to go for the Con1 here. Yeah, there's Pierre in the game, so getting those extra arenas is not bad. Also getting an early computer, so yeah, he can set up some nice economy pretty soon. Even builds another farm. I think there's the Red Cross. Yeah, there's Red Cross. But yeah, which is notable, none of the players have any masonry or architecture, so that Red Cross is much harder to build. So yeah, for me, there's the very early Mandela coming down, and I have just a setup for nice Mandela. So I naturally decided to go for him. And then there's also Pro Sports. I take it away from Fourierr, and it's also great for me. I can just build a couple and even escape corruption this time. That's a sight to see. Yeah, there's also a lot of stuff I'm not getting. There's both two or yeah, all the rev ideas are out. I'm not getting any at this point, which is not that great, but also I decided to just save the rocks from getting out of corruption and getting a nice mandala going. Seven culture mandala. I draw impact of culture, a couple of wars. I'm okay in culture for now, but maybe yeah, I can't really outproduce Bach anyway, but maybe later it could be playable. So yeah, Michael goes for more upgrades, even upgrades food. There's pretty early oil. Takes one revolutionary idea. So yeah, he can go for the oil, yes. And yeah, I'm not sure about the oil. There's military build-up. He's skipping, and maybe getting out another rev could be nice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Fourierr then reveals Independence Declaration, but it doesn't have any colonies. Goes for the computer, quite naturally. Pops, takes the rifles, and goes for more culture. So yeah, I was not very confident that I would get any of those rev ideas, but as it appears, I can get one of those. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, there's terrorism. That's never too great. Losing a prof sports more likely, and Michael will be losing an opera. But yeah, at least like this, I can fix my food quite nicely. I can go for the mech and take one efficient upgrade from the row, and go for all of a sudden a lot of food production before there's any military stuff. So that's my priority one, and also taking rev ideas quite the must. And then I also decided to take urban growth since the terrorism was revealed, so I can rebuild a bit cheaper. And yeah, I'm still producing at least the same culture that Michael and I have to lead. So I just want to keep that going. There's the autonomous. I was all in on that, but Michael was able to win it. Well, quite cheap price. Goes for the oil. Only one upgrade though. He has to. Oh, yeah, probably even has to rebuild the infantry unit. So that costs him the second oil upgrade, but I think he took the rocks from the autonomous, so he wouldn't have had the rocks anyway. So yeah, let's see. at this point, the culture Fourierr is quite behind, and Michael still 24 points behind me. And I still have some nice things going. I have the food now, so it's looking quite decent. Fourierr then goes for prof sports, and then Pierre builds another prof sport, so he's now getting some more culture. So yeah, I did see the politics of strength at one point, and now that the terrorism was revealed earlier, I lost the other prof sports that I had, and then I also did not win this event either. So that was a nice, not a nice combination, but yeah, I still wanted to seed. I think I seeded maybe impact of population or some other nice one I drew. Yeah, I'm not quite sure which impact I seeded, but it was still good enough to risk showing the politics of strength event. So yeah, I rebuilt the arena, and then I decided to go for oil. Yeah, that's obviously the first Air Force in a row, but yeah, I really don't need the Air Force. I need tanks. So I did play around with some different turns, but I then valued getting the oil, even though it's quite late, but I still can go for oil. Skipping the Air Force. Yeah, just go for the Revidier. Go for oil. Pop and build a lab just to be able to go for tanks next. So you're taking Air Force, it's also always something to consider, but then I just looked at maybe Michael's civilization doesn't have the most science. If he wants to go for wars, he would need to at least get either cavalrymen or canoes out with the Air Force, so it might be a bit not the easiest task. He has the rev though, but I felt like he's not that threatening. And also Fourierr doesn't have much. He also he has a lot of science, but maybe it's still a long way from getting very threatening. So yeah, I decided to skip the Air Force. There's the first tanks coming down, so just gonna take tanks and work my way from that. At least I leave the Air Force for 2. Yeah, now I draw the population. Yeah, it was something else I did it. Yeah, maybe variety. Variety was a semi-neutral event at the point. Yeah, Michael goes for fast food. Takes the Air Force. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And there's Wealthy Territory 2. I would have liked to get it, but Fourierr is able to snatch it from me, going for the Manhattan. And now, yeah, he has some potential. But he also had to send 2 units away, so maybe not that threatening now. So he goes for the project. Shows the classic army. And now he has a lot of production in every category, but it's also getting quite late and he's behind on culture, so still a steep hill to climb. And yeah, just before maybe getting stronger, I'm again the middleman in a strength event, but yeah, it's probably just fine. I'd say that the population now will have pretty much same population with Fourierr, but Michael has quite significantly less population than the two of us. So yeah, tanks is a must. I don't need to go for it now, but I take it in hand. Yeah, I want to take the United Nations. That's 6 CA. It's a quite steep price. But yeah, I can just get a nice use for my rocks and my wonder count, and another upgrade to get out of 4 corruption and just take 2 corruption. So yeah, if there's some war stuff going, then it's gonna be my MA count that will be the bottleneck, but yeah. There's only next turn to declare war, so I didn't see anything too threatening. Civil unrest. Michael then goes for a couple oil upgrades, ups, and builds upgrades a theater from the lab, and develops government just to be able to copy the classic army. And yeah, Fourierr then can go for a war, not against me. Maybe, yeah, at this point I was looking at the scores and realized that Fourierr maybe can get a small war versus me, but he practically has no way to overtake me, so he decides to target Michael for the second place. So yeah, I felt that I can still cough up a decent defense. When we look at my civilization, there's both the patriotisms are still out there, so I could still use those to build some tanks. And yeah, maybe the most important factor is that he probably can't fight for first place anyway, so he was Michael for that, and I could have some defense. Yeah, I could build another prof sports and then tanks, and yeah, obviously he doesn't know that I have the hussars, but maybe he might have guessed that. So Fourier got for fundamentalism for the war and feels tactic, and then goes for more arena upgrades. So 51. For me, I think I see the impact of science since I can go for computers now, and I have a lot of rocks. And Fourier just went for the fundamentalism, so he's at 10 science production for now, and when I upgrade those two, I will have 13. And then maybe I can counter on the last turn if he decides to go for more science production. So yeah, just computers, a couple upgrades, and then having seeded the population, I just pop 4 times and show the tactic just in case. And Michael then can go for Air Force with Madeline Dietrich and up to 44. So 16 points transfer. No, 12 points. Yeah. 12 points go from Michael to Fourierr. So last turn. Yeah, if I got maybe raided, that could have been annoying, but once again I thought it's just a risk I want to take, and even if I lose the science impact, it might not be too big of a swing. So civil service, 4th arena, and maybe prepping for competition. But yeah, he doesn't add any science production. So yeah, for me there's nothing to seed, nothing to do. And then I just realize I wanna obviously finish the wonder, but then I can also defend against Michael, just to maximize my potential. I'm protecting my labs and my science win, and also play for the possible competition. So I take one pat, sell all the paintings, and finish the wonder, and then just take some cards that are irrelevant, but now I can just defend. And there's raid, but I can just defend it, and then fast food finished, and final scoring. Yeah, comfortable 40-point lead before any impacts are revealed. Government, yeah, it's nice for Fourierr. Still on the last pot, but maybe he has better impacts. Yeah, that's a good one. Then there's my science. Fourierr now can overtake Michael. And there's technology, which will be good for me and Fourierr. And then there's population, which is tied with Fourierr. So yeah, I was able to get a nice win. The game did not feel too great with the 4CA Mikey, but it was enough to get some culture going, and then go for the Robespierre, and then even get an early Mandela. From that on, it was quite easy to go from that. But yeah, there was some dangerous spots also, but I was able to not get warred, and got some nice impacts, and just maintained the lead, and even got some more lead from the final impacts. So yeah, with this game I have finished 4 games from the Intermezzo, and I have 14 points, so I have 2 wins and 2 second places, and I'm currently in the top spot there, but still a lot to be played. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the game, and bye bye.